Hi everyone, welcome to Inktober 2025. My name is Lavinia. We are nearing the end of the month with one Zentangle per day. And this Zentangle is called Quandary. And I think it's a really pretty Zentangle, maybe a little bit complicated. Um, I have three versions. I wanted to try out three different ways. So this is Quandary with some tangulations. This is Quandary itself. And then I added some Prismacolor. I wanted to do a variation of different colors. And I also added a little circle in the middle. So I think what I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to show you here a couple of variations so that you can choose how you prefer maybe to draw it. So I'm just going to grab an ink pen here. This is my 03, my 0.3 from the Artist Loft. So Quandary is a little rice shape. So these are just like little rice shapes like that. And you're drawing 6 of them. So the way that they do it in Zentangle, the Zentangle method itself is you draw this one rice shape, and then next to it you draw another one, and then you kind of close that off with another one. So it's a pattern of 3. And then this one, you're going to come down and so you have that pattern of 3. And then you continue. So let's say there's this one. You're going to come down, give it that pattern of 3. And then this one would also have that shape there. And then this one too. So I just want to, I guess, show you here like that. And then this one, would be closed off over here. So it could seem a little bit complicated. Another way to do it is, let's say you wanted to maybe draw it with your pencil, that maybe just to get an idea of where you would want to put those rice shapes, you could probably do that. So maybe this one will come here. Now you're leaving a space, so you're not touching. So definitely go ahead and leave a space. So you have that. Now these may be a little bit too wide here compared to this. So maybe I will use that side to come here. And then this one, I came a little bit too close. You do want to leave a space there. And then that little rice shape like that. And then you're going to put your other, and I'm kind of going fast here, but you kind of get the idea of doing it like that. So you get that, and then you just go ahead and continue. Another way that I saw someone do, and I thought that maybe this might be easier. I mean, you can do the pencil, but let's go ahead and we're going to draw that rice shape, and then just come right down. Again, we're leaving that space, so it's sort of perpendicular. And then just come here, draw your next rice shape, and whoops, come down this way. And then here in between, draw the next one. And then you're just going to form your little triangle of seed shapes here, of rice shapes. They could be thinner. So you kind of just want to get that pattern. It's just that repeating pattern in Zentangle. So you have this. And then to continue, you already have your 3 petals here. So just come down perpendicular from that one. And I think this might be the easiest, unless you want to do the pencil. I mean, if doing it this way, where you draw your 3 like that, and then continue to draw your 3, go ahead and do that. But so I'm just going to see this one here would be perpendicular here, and then this is the one which would be perpendicular here, and then I'm going to just close off that triangle. And so this one would be here, which would be the perpendicular of that one there. Then I just turn it, and then this one would be here, and this one here would be the perpendicular one of that. And then if you can go ahead and continue on. Again, I made these a little bit elongated. These are a little bit puffier. And if you wanted to embellish it with the circles in the center, you can. Here I saw one tangulation where they were just adding just like little circles with little bumps. You can add lines in between. So let's say you wanted to do the Y, you can do that. So just different variations, just, whatever it is that you like to do, go ahead and do. But let's go ahead and go to the calendar and add it here. So I'm going to start first with, let me see if I can bring the camera a little bit closer. Okay, so I have that, and then I'm just going to come down perpendicular. Then I'm going to, let me get that off. Just going to come here and add the other one. And I'm just going to come perpendicular to that one. And then I'm going to add my other one here. And then perpendicular to that one. Whoops, sorry. And then we're just going to close off. So again, just giving it that seed shape. I think this is a pretty design that can be added. And actually that looks like a little flower right there. To your journals, to cards. If you make mandalas or rock painting, I think this would be a pretty design. So that there. And then if we want to continue, let's say I'm going to come perpendicular to this one and add that. I am going to draw the one that's perpendicular to this one, and then the one that's perpendicular to this one, like that. And then just going to close off this triangle, which actually this one would be perpendicular to that. This one is the one that's perpendicular to this one. And then I'm going to add this one here. And going to close off, let's see, this one is going to come down this way. This will be perpendicular to that, which closes this triangle. And then you just keep continuing on. But I want to just go ahead and use my Prismacolors. So that's what I use to color in this one here. So I thought I would do that here on camera for this one. And let's see, maybe I'll use some blues and greens. So this is just another fun way to use your color pencils if you have. And again, you can put those circles in, you can add additional tangulations, designs. Let's see. So whichever method you choose, I hope you give it a try. I think it's really fun. And I think I want to add maybe a little brown here. Okay, now rather than on the Zentangle tile, because again, it's just that repeating pattern, let's go ahead and add it to the compilation page. Okay, so here's my page. And I want to let you know that I added off camera the Zentangle Yeed, the border, along Tripoli. So I have here the blooming Yeed, and then I decided to add it here just to fill it up a little bit. And I also added a little bit more of letterish around here, and I also put some spirals here because I just wanted to fill in some space. So as far as for Quandary, let's see if maybe, let's fill up some space maybe up here. And since there's really no up or down, maybe I'll start here just so there's a better camera angle. So again, this is what it would look like. And then the different variations. So again, if you wanted to use pencil, if you wanted to do the, the 3 and then just keep going that way, you can do that too. Or I'm going to use this method where I draw from the opposite side. So I want to fill in this area here. So let's just go ahead, put pen to paper, and let's see what happens. So just that rice shape. Going to leave a little bit of space and come on down. And take your time. There's no rushing this. Okay, so we have that so far. I'm going to put some music in the background. And I think that will just help me slow down and relax as well. All right, so let's go this way because I want to come into this area. So just going to come perpendicular down that way. And let's see. Oh, actually we need to close off those triangles. This is fine, so that's okay. Let's go ahead and put that one there. There we go. Because I was wondering, where's my other connections? All right, so this will be perpendicular here. That. And then we are going to close off these triangles. So this one you can see would be perpendicular here, which forms that 5th petal, but it also closes off that triangle. And then just here, we would start to see the tip of the one that's perpendicular here. This one, I don't know, maybe might be there. For this one, this would be perpendicular here, going behind the owl peak. This would come this way, like that. And let's see, again, I wanted to come into here. So we're going to close off and make that triangle right there. We're going to be perpendicular coming down this way. This one here. And there'll probably be one over there. And I may give this an aura to then close it off in total. And there'll probably be one over here. To close that one off. And so that's filled that space really nice. Could probably, let's see, this would be closing off this area. And I guess we could do one here. And there would be one here. And then one here. So let me show you. I think that's looking really nice. And I don't know how far. I could always, depending what the next Zentangles are, I can always maybe do them in this area so that if I want to add more, I can. But so I'm not going to close it off at this point in time, just in case I want to add more. But let's go ahead and grab our graphite. I can always add that circle if I wanted to, or even if I wanted to add like little flicks in there, I could. But I think I'm going to leave it like that for now. So I'm just going to add the graphite. And maybe I will just put some here along the edges, because even if I want to embellish, I can always erase if I needed to, but I do want these little rice shapes to be standing out. I'm going to add this so that owl peak looks like it's standing or on top of the quandary. Okay. So I'm just shading in those areas there. So this is the tangle I do like. Not that I don't like the others, but I just like this pattern. And each little seed shape, rice shape doesn't have to be the same. Again, not going for perfection, just a repeating pattern to help get in the zen. So there it is, tucked nicely behind Owl Peak. We have it here. And then just here as well. So, and different methods of doing that. So I hope you enjoyed this one and give it a try. Let me know in the comment section what you think about this particular Zentangle. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. Take care. I will see you in the next one. Bye.